I want you to tell me the very first thing that you see down there, below you.
Fields of green grass. Just green grass everywhere.
Mm-hmm. What time of the day do you think it could be?
It's midday.
Midday. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Do you see anything else in the horizon besides the green field?
I see hills.
Mm-hmm. Which side are the hills? Are in front of you or back?
When I turn to the right,
All right. Are they big hills, mountains, or small?
well, they're small hills.
Uh-huh. They are small hills. Mm-hmm. Does the field have flowers or just grass?
Just grass.
Just grass. Mm-hmm. And what color is the sky?
Green.
Green.
It's green sky.
Green sky. Mm-hmm. What kind of green?
Like a ocean green. Very... It's not bright, it's very... almost like turquoise, but more green than turquoise.
Beautiful. What else do you see in the sky? What else is there? Have a look.
I see a moon.
You see a moon? Mm-hmm. Tell me about it.
It's very close, very big.
It's big? Mm-hmm. Is it a full moon?
Yes. But it's daylight and I can see it.
You said it's very close.
Yeah.
What do you see then? Can you describe it for me? How does this moon look like?
It looks a lot like our moon, but it's different. It's perfectly round.
So you're able to see craters or different
Yes.
formations?
I see craters.
Uh-huh.
I see another object. It's further away. It's also round. I think it's another moon.
Uh-huh. Is it close to the one in the front?
It is close. You can see them both together, but it's further away in the distance.
What color is the other one?
Orange.
Is it like a intense orange or pale?
Very pale.
Very pale.
Yes.
And the moon in the front?
It's grey.
So they're different color. How do you feel looking at them?
Feel home.
You feel home?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Does it feel good?
Yes.
Very nice. Have a look at your feet. What do you see?
They're blue. They're very big and they're blue.
They're blue?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you describe them for me? How many toes do you have? Or if you have any?
They look very strange. They have, I guess those are 2 toes. Only 2 toes.
What kind of blue is it?
It's a very deep, dark blue. Not dark, but deep, very strong blue. Like king blue.
And how do your legs look like? Let's have a look.
They're very slender and it looks like I have patterns on my skin.
Patterns? What kind of patterns do you see? How can you describe them?
Kind of like waves. Very flowy kind of patterns and they go all up my body.
Are they different color?
They're more greenish blue. They match my skin very well.
And are these patterns throughout your whole body?
Yeah.
And you said your legs are slender.
Yeah.
Are they long, short?
They're very long.
Very long. And as you're going up the torso, what do you see?
I don't see any sexual organs. It's just flat. Very scrawny body. Very thin. Long arms.
How long?
Very long.
Wow, okay. Are they also slender?
Yeah.
They also have the patterns on?
Yeah, but they're different. The patterns on my legs are thick. They're very thick, and the ones on my arms are very thin, like lines.
They're more delicate.
Yeah, more delicate.
Can you describe me your palms, your hands?
3 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And the palms are very light blue.
The inside?
Yeah.
And how do you use these 3 fingers?
I think I use them to steer a ship. I guess I have a ship. I insert them into something. I know that.
And they match perfectly?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll go into that later. But before that, I'm interested if you could tell me how your head looks like. Is it small, big?
It's very big. Long skull.
Long, like elongated?
Yeah.
What color is it? Is it blue also?
It's blue. Yeah. My eyes are black. It's like one big pupil.
Okay.
Or it's like lenses on my eyes. Black lenses.
What shape are they? Their eyes?
They're big, not perfectly round, kind of oval, but very big. And they go along my skull.
And what other characteristics are there on your face?
I don't have a nose, I just have 2 holes.
Do you inhale from these 2 holes? Air?
Yeah.
And do you have a mouth?
Very small.
Do you use it?
I use it to make sound, not to communicate, just to create sound. Beautiful sound.
And do you have any hair?
No hair.
No.
Smooth.
Smooth. Do you have ears?
Yeah, small. Very small on the sides.
Do you have any accessory on you or any device?
I have a pendant, a necklace.
Tell me about it.
It's got a huge gemstone from my planet.
The one you are now?
Yeah.
What color is the gemstone?
It changes color. So it's rainbow color.
Is every one color following the other or all together?
All together.
Wow. They're like swirling around.
Yeah.
The colors of the rainbow?
Yeah. And other colors.
Why do they do this? Can you tell me more about it?
It's alive. It's a living being. And that's just how it looks.
What's your connection with it? And why are you wearing it?
I found it. It was calling me and I found it. It connects with me.
Where is it laying on your body? In which part of your body is it hanging?
On the heart.
On your heart?
Yeah.
Is there any connection there?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It helps me receive information.
Alright.
Information that I couldn't usually receive.
What kind of information would that be? Could you explain to me?
Energies. Different energies.
Different energies.
I can focus on different places in the universe, and the stone will help me identify what I'm focusing on. It will send me information from what I'm focusing on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why would you want to do that? Tapping into other places and getting information.
To record the information.
To record?
Yeah.
Where are you recording the information? Is it on your body somewhere or somewhere externally?
No, it's externally. It's like in the ethers. It's Akashic records.
Okay, so you're basically transmitting the information. Yeah. Do you have a certain subject that you are working with?
Yeah.
What is it? What is it that you're...
The development of spirituality in different parts of the universe.
So then you will tap into different places?
Different consciousness. Yes. Of different civilizations as they evolve. I record all of the information, the progress, how they develop, what catalyzes them.
And then this goes into the Akashic records?
Yeah.
Are you going to these places physically in order to get this information?
Sometimes, but most of the time it's from the outside, without interfering, just observing. I observe most of the time.
So if, for example, you would want to go somewhere physically, how would you do that? Do you How do you travel?
I have a ship.
You have a ship?
Yeah.
Would you like to describe it for me? How does your ship look like?
It's fully organic. It's a part of me.
So it's alive?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It is me. It's my DNA. It's made from my DNA.
Mm-hmm. Who made it?
I made it.
You did?
Yeah.
And how does it look like?
Just looks like a round pod. It doesn't look like anything special from the outside. It's just like it's the same color as me. So it's blue.
What shape is it?
It's like it is oval. It's not like an egg, but it's thick in the middle and thin on the ends. So oval in that way. And it's very round. It doesn't have any doors or anything.
And how do you get in?
I can walk through it when I want to. I communicate telepathically.
And you give it also instructions?
Yeah.
And it cooperates with you?
Yeah, but it's not something separate from me. It's a part of me. So if I want to go somewhere, I just think of it and then I'll go there. I don't have to enter a destination or anything linear like that.
It instantly knows where you want to go.
Yeah.
And just takes you there. And inside, how does it look like?
It's huge. It's big on the inside, but on the outside it doesn't look so big.
How does that work? I'm curious. I've heard that before. It's an illusion?
It is an illusion. The outside is an illusion. The inside. It works with consciousness. So it seems like an illusion for the consciousness that perceives it.
And what is the purpose then of this illusion, so to say?
To not scare anyone that sees it if it's very big. If it looks big from the outside. Because it's only me inside.
And what equipment is inside? Is there anything inside? What do you see?
It looks empty.
What color is the interior?
White.
What material is it? What does it look like? Is it matte, shiny? How is it?
It's more matte, definitely more matte, but it's soft. Organic material.
Is it self-sustained?
Yeah.
And how about you?
I don't eat, I live, I am light.
You are light.
I'm not physical.
And how about the body that you are viewing now?
Yeah, it's not physical, it's a made of light, it's a light body. I'm actually really just a field of energy.
So you manifest a physical looking body at will whenever you want to?
Just for this purpose.
For this purpose? What do you mean?
For now, so that I can interpret it in this hypnosis session.
And what is it that you do the majority of your time in this experience, in this life?
I connect with consciousness, different consciousness, and exchange information. It's not physical beings, it's the consciousness of the physical beings, whatever consciousness I'm busy connecting with.
Are you doing it alone, or are you doing it in a group?
Mostly it's alone, but sometimes it is in a group. There are others like me.
Do they look like you?
No.
How do they look like?
Someone is purple, violet, and they're also light, made of light.
So your essence are, in my understanding, is it that what you say, that your essence is the same, but then you can all
manifest differently?
Exactly.
Yes.
So you see different kinds of beings.
Yeah, different beings, different light beings.
But do you all recognize each other? Do you?
Yes, we know each other.
You know each other.
But we live in different parts of the galaxy.
You live in different parts of the galaxy. Tell me about your race. What else would you like? Can you share?
I'm getting Arcturians.
So that's where this is your base, so to say? That's where you originated from? But then from there you
live different places.
I see. Okay. And this scene that we are viewing now, Is it in Arcturus or is it somewhere else?
Somewhere else.
And do you live there? Is your base there on this planet?
Yes. It's in the Pleiadian star system.
You mentioned earlier that about the 3 fingers, that you, with these 3 fingers, you have the ability to steer the ship.
It's not really steering, it's just connecting into the ship.
By touching?
Yeah. Inserting.
You insert your fingers?
Yeah.
Your thumbs? Where exactly? Is there a certain place?
Yeah. I have to think about it and then something pops up and then I can put my hands in there. But I have to think of it first.
And what's the purpose of that?
It's kind of like a safety mechanism.
It recognizes that it's you.
Yeah. And it can only move if I'm connected into it like that.
So it's like a recognition.
Yeah.
So let's leave that scene and let's move forward to, in the same lifetime, to an important day. A day that you consider to be important when something is happening. What do you see? What is happening?
I'm with those other beings that we spoke about that are like me, and we're connecting into the Earth, planet Earth.
How do you do that? How do you connect to Earth?
Kind of almost like a meditation. We just connect into its consciousness and then we can communicate.
And what is the purpose of doing that?
The Earth needs help.
It needs help?
Yeah. This is when I decided to go.
And who tells you about it?
We can sense it. We can sense that the Earth needs something.
That's also part of your job, so to say, right?
Exactly.
So you and others tapped into the Earth and felt this...
Yeah, we did it together. We were all together when it happened. Did you all receive the same exact information, or how was it? Got the same. It's kind of like a message, or not a message, but a knowing. And then we just met each other. We connected into the Earth, and then we knew who would go down.
And who decides who goes?
It's not that someone decides. It's we just know. We know who goes. There's no hierarchy, and there's nothing like that.
So you decided to go down there.
Yeah.
Why? How come? Why did you take this decision?
It felt good. It felt like I wanted to be a part of it.
You wanted to be a part of it?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Was it a big project, a plan to help the Earth?
Yes. The transformation that is happening now with humanity. I wanted to be a part of that, this life.
Have you ever been to Earth before? Living a life, incarnating through a human body?
Yes.
So you had done this, you have some experience, you have done this before?
Well, I went down, and from there I had different lifetimes leading up to this one. So I went down, and then I began the incarnation cycle.
Why did you decide to do this, to go through the cycle?
For the experience.
And did you have had many incarnations so far?
It's around 20.
Are you aware that you are speaking through a human body called Matthew? So you know a lot about him, don't you?
Yes.
From your perspective, being much wider, would you like to give him some guidance?
Yes.
Could you talk to him about his loneliness and the feeling of abandonment that he has?
He remembers the feeling of home, but he knows that this is not his home.
So that's where the loneliness arises.
Not only. It's mostly accumulated over lifetimes on Earth. Most of his lives were spent in esoteric lives.
He chose that.
Yes, he chose that. Where he often had to denounce everything, including family. And that's really important too. Family.
But it was his decision.
Yes.
Why?
To find connection within disconnection.
Could you elaborate on that?
Being disconnected from family, from all worldly things really, and then finding the connection with the divine.
Through a human body.
Yes.
The thing is that it is now making him feel a certain amount of sadness and depression. So what is it that he can do about it?
Remember the connection, the divine connection, and trust it. He has to trust.
When you say divine connection, what do you mean?
Connection through the heart, to the all that is, through the quantum field.
And how can he close this wound? How can he heal this wound? How can he feel more joy in being supported, not so lonely?
It is healing.
It is healing?
Yeah.
Can you tell him more about it?
Just the awareness of the wound is enough.
From your perspective, what would you like to say to him now that he hears you?
You are safe, and you are always home.
Thank you. I was wondering if you could elaborate on why he often struggles to have fun and enjoy his life.
He's not connected enough with his intuition. Works from the mind a lot. But his specialty is functioning through the intuition. And because he's slightly disconnected from it, he's disconnected from a very big part of himself.
So he has to remember now and shift his awareness.
Yeah.
From the thinking mind into his heart.
Yes.
And his intuition. And how will this help him?
It will bring opportunities, different opportunities to make connections. It will free him from his mind. He is stuck in his mind.
So he's trapped in a way.
Yes.
That's why he cannot enjoy life, because he doesn't feel free. He doesn't feel like he's himself.
Yes. He knows that he's trapped in his mind, which is even more frustrating.
But it's the first step to get out of it, no?
Yes.
And he already has made some steps recently, right?
Yes.
The last months, years, to change the direction.
The last 2 years.
So, what more would you like to say to him in finding joy, experiencing more joy in this life? Because so far this life had been very not so wanted, really.
Joy is always there. It's within you. It can be found in every moment if you have the intention to find it.
And coming back on track with his mission will give him joy, right?
Yes.
Would you like to talk to him about it?
He is on the highest timeline for his mission. He is on the right path, but connecting with the intuition will accelerate the process.
How can he connect with his intuition more?
Stop planning the days too much and keep tuning into the body. Connect with the body and function from that place of presence.
I want to ask something, go back to the childhood a little bit. Did anything happen, anything had to do with the way he was brought up that added up to his feelings of loneliness and abandonment?
Yes. He's very close with his father, and so he picked up a lot of things from his father. Like anger and certain behaviors, and most of all belief systems and patterns.
So you got influenced by him?
Yes, very much. And because Matthew functions, or he resonates mostly with the metaphysical, esoteric side of life, that is who he is. But his father does not believe in those things, and he often ridicules it. And so having that belief system of not believing in your own truth is what creates the disconnection.
Yeah. So this created a huge separation in him.
Yes.
And that's why he even felt the feelings of self-hatred or so.
Yeah.
Because he was going against himself in a way.
And he didn't know this. He was going against himself, but he didn't know that he was, which created confusion.
Of course. Makes so much sense. So he has to come back to himself.
Yes.
And honor his own.
He has to recognize his truth and embrace it and know it and be it.
And ultimately that's why he came here, right?
Yes.
When you decided to go down as Matthew, what was your intention?
To find the truth within darkness, within the deepest darkness. To find that truth and to embody it and to radiate it into the world.
So that's a challenging task, right?
Yes.
Because the earth is quite dense. And people tend to forget who they really are, where they come from, right? So can we talk about a habit that he had of judging himself a lot? He was doing this consciously and unconsciously. Why?
He has it from his father.
Was his father doing the same? Judging himself or judging others?
Judging himself.
How can he turn this self-judgment into self-love?
He needs to forgive his father, and then he will be able to recognize the self-judgment more easily.
He needs to forgive his father.
Yeah.
Forgive him for what?
Forgive him for having such a tight grip on Matthew's life, such a tight control.
But as we know, we choose the people that will be in our lives, especially the people like our family members. So as Matthew chose this person as a father and go through this experience that he went through with him, why did he choose to have this kind of a father? What was the purpose? What did he want to learn from this experience?
It's mostly to be able to free himself of very strong control imposed not necessarily by external things like a government or anything, but rather control that's imposed on him by a loved one.
And from a very young age, right?
Yes.
So that was he put a big challenge for him. So now he's in the moment where he's waking up from it.
Yes.
So you said he should forgive his father.
Yes.
Also, perhaps understanding that he played his part, right? His role.
Yes. And they've had lives together.
Did
past
they?
lives.
So they know each other.
Yes.
Would you like to tell him more about it? If it's appropriate for him to know more about it. What can
The
you
roles
share?
had been reversed before.
So once he was the father.
Yes.
And what was the dynamic in that relationship?
It was quite similar. He put the control on his son out of love, but it was never really resolved.
What do you mean? It was not resolved?
The control, the limitations were always there. The control imposed on the son. The son lived with it his whole life.
So he never get out of it.
Yeah.
He never got over.
And now it's carried over and the roles are reversed.
And how does the anger tie into all of this? Because there is still some anger being between them in a way, isn't it?
Yes.
Can you explain that to him so that he can have a more better understanding?
The anger comes as a result of this control, being controlled and feeling controlled.
In the past life?
Yes.
So it's been carried through this one?
Yes. It's a reaction to the situation.
So his father was, of course, unaware of it in this life.
Yeah.
But acting on it, subconsciously.
Yes.
So, can we talk about another issue about Matthew and his relationships with other people? Because he said that even though he wanted to connect with other people, he was instead ignoring them and pushing them away and isolating himself from the outside world. Why was he doing this to himself?
Because he's not connected to himself fully, to his values and to his truth, and so he feels unable to connect to anyone else.
That's why he said you felt this kind of wall.
It's the disconnection between him to himself that he's feeling.
And is he ready now to break this wall?
Yes.
Wonderful. I guess this also has to do with blocking his own expression and holding himself back.
Yes.
Is it connected, or what would you like to say to him about it?
Because he's not connected to his truth and he's not coming from a place of his own truth, he subconsciously judges whatever it is that he expresses. And that way, because he judges it, he holds it back. And he blocks it from full expression.
And that creates a block in his throat chakra as well, right?
Yes.
Can you work on his chakra today? Can you balance it and open it?
Yes.
Can you do it now?
Yes.
Wonderful. And I'm curious, can you explain to us how you do it while you're doing it?
We're using light and feeding it to the cells and opening, creating space, vibrating it.
So from now on, he's going to be able to speak up, express himself.
Yes.
Truthfully.
With awareness. With awareness.
Wonderful. Because he said he even wanted sometimes to speak up, but he even felt like a discomfort in that area.
This limitation has been there for very long.
But he doesn't need it anymore, does he?
No.
Wonderful. So he can now let it go. And could you talk to him about his sexuality?
He is bisexual, but he needs emotional connection to fully experience his sexuality.
Why is that? Why does he need emotional connection?
Because the emotional connection creates a higher vibration within the relationship, higher energy, purer energy, and then this can resonate with the sexual energy.
Okay. So, what would you suggest to him to feel more connected and more confident about his sexuality?
To continue his practice of sexual cultivation is most important now, and the connection with people will come.
Is there anything you would like to suggest him additionally?
To feel happiness when he sees true connection with other people, to feel happy for them, because this will attract such a similar situation.
And why did he decide to be bisexual in this life?
To experience more love, more channels, more pathways of love from all sexes.
And in your race, in your society, you don't have sexes, right?
Right.
Why is that?
Because we are balanced. We are not polarized. And we have transcended polarity and sexuality.
Mm-hmm. So, what are there any of these attributes connected with the people who are bisexual, for example?
It is easier to understand and to know the concept of unity consciousness and to experience it because they do not have the separation that comes with heterosexuality.
So Matthew chose bisexuality consciously,
yes,
as a tool for
accelerated growth.
Wonderful. So he shouldn't feel in any way ashamed of being attracted by people from the same sex.
No.
Embrace it
and appreciate.
Wonderful. So he's also he should free himself.
Yes.
And with this new understanding of why he chose to have this kind of sexual identity, it will also help him, right?
Yes.
To see the other side, that it's actually he chose it very wisely.
And it will be easier for him to attract appropriate relationships.
Without shame, guilt, or
yes,
dysfunctional thoughts.
Yes.
Wonderful. How about his throat chakra? How is it going?
It's healed.
Wonderful. Fantastic. Could you also check all the other chakras and see if there's any of them need some assistance today?
The second.
The second? And what do you see there? What blocked this center?
To the sexuality. And his hatred towards his own sexuality and his own self created a deterioration in this energy center.
So, can you bring it back to balance?
Yes.
Very good. And as you're doing it, could you also have a look at the others energy centers?
They are fine.
Okay, so can you continue answering some questions for him?
Yes.
Wonderful, thank you. So he was wondering if he has any shadow aspects that he needs to know of.
It is not just self-judgment, it is judgment of others that happens almost automatically.
Judgment of others? What do you mean?
That he judges others.
Oh, so this doesn't serve him?
No. It holds him back. It keeps his vibration down.
So how can he let it go?
To recognize it when it happens. Acknowledge it, that it has happened, and then let it go.
And can you tell him why he doesn't serve him to judge other people?
Because it creates separation. And the separation resonates with that loneliness that he feels.
So he fits his loneliness.
Yeah.
But it's like a self-sabotaging...
It's like a never-ending cycle.
Yes. Okay. And can you explain to him the concept of twin flames? And how it relates to his ascension?
The twin flame is a complementary but opposite energy, like can be a soul, can be a person that can accelerate the growth, the evolution between the souls that meet.
So there are triggers for each other?
Yes. It's not one specific person, it can be different people that carry an energy which works very well with your energy, that complements the energy.
So they are like ascension catalysts in a way, ascension triggers, and they can even be subconsciously, right?
Yes.
Unaware of it, they are just waking up each other. Beautiful. How can Matthew connect with more consciously with his inner child?
Through the imagination and the intention. The intention to connect with the child. And then imagining it, however it appears. And then, with patience, talk to it.
So it's like tuning into this timeline where he was a child and
yes.
bringing it back to the now.
Into the energy of that moment.
And he can work on that timeline of his childhood. And
yes. Most of the time, the child will decide what to work on. If he connects with the inner child, with the child, it's more effective to ask what's wrong, what needs to be healed. Then the most appropriate situation will arise.
Beautiful. So treat it like a child. I just ask
and love it. Give it lots of love.
What's wrong with you, baby?
Yes.
Please tell me. How can I help you? Right?
Yes.
So this is work that he can do through meditation, right?
Yes.
And how often and how long would it be effective? How many times? Just for him, and how will he know when it's healed? You know.
It is almost done.
Okay.
Most of the aspects are home. There are a few situations that need to be healed.
Very good.
But when it happens, he will know.
He will know, eh?
Yes.
So he has done a lot of work already.
Yes.
Very good. All right then. Is there any ancestral trauma affecting him in any way?
Yes.
Can you talk to him about it? Is it appropriate for him to know?
It's an energy of slavery coming from both sides. His mother's side experienced more traumatic slavery, so that feeling of being trapped, being stuck and helpless comes from there.
But you also said that it's from both sides, right?
Yes. From the father's side. It was more a mental slavery, being trapped within the culture and the conditioning of the society that those ancestors came from.
So does Matthew need to carry these chains?
No.
Can we break them now?
Yes.
Can you help him do this now?
Yes.
With intention? Because he doesn't need to carry these things with him, does he?
No.
They don't serve him with his path, with his mission, right?
No, he chose to be the one to end this line of slavery.
So it's time to break the chains now.
Yes.
And stop this from repeating itself. So does he need to now maybe visualize something, or his intention now here is enough?
It is done.
To be done. Perfect. Is there any trauma stored in his physical body? Is it anything that he's holding on?
It's connected to the slavery.
Where is it located in his body?
It's the shoulders. He's carrying too much weight.
I see. Okay. Can we lift this weight from him? Because he doesn't need to carry it, does he?
No.
Wonderful. So can you help him now to release all this weight from him? Take it off of his shoulders. Take everything off of his shoulders. All these hundreds and thousands of years of suppression. So is he going to feel the difference?
Yes.
Physically? Because this was really holding him down, right?
He will feel.
Wonderful. It was time for him to let this go, right?
Yes.
Good. What would you like to say to him regarding cannabis?
It has been a powerful ally for many years, and it continues to be so, as long as you don't let the energy of being trapped and being a slave to the cannabis, don't let that take over. if you use it in moderation, it is good.
And how will he know when to stop? How
He
to
will just
moderate
stop.
it consciously?
He will be able to feel when his use is too much,
Mm.
and then he simply has to stop.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to talk to us about the event? Is it appropriate to share some information from your perspective? Matthew is wondering when or how will he experience it?
He will feel it before it comes.
Mm.
He will feel it in every cell of his body.
How?
An expansion
Mm.
of ecstasy and light
Mm-hmm.
and love. Almost like an explosion.
Is there something that he can do to prepare himself?
Shift the diet more.
Mm.
Less meat, no meat. And basically just connect into and listen to the body.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever the body needs and wants, give it.
Whether this is more rest or
Or more food or
more food
water
or less food, right?
Yes.
Mm-mm-mm.
This
Yeah.
will make it more comfortable
Mm-hmm.
when the event happens.
And do you have any possible timeline for him for this experience?
2019.
So it's soon.
Yes.
And is it going to be like a private experience?
Yes, first it will be private for him. He will experience it. And then he will experience it with his family.
What do you mean?
He will be with his family when they experience it. And he will be there to
Mhm.
help them.
This would be much later, right?
Yes.
So he will know what to do.
Yes.
And he was saying that he feels like that there are some beings that work with him.
Yes.
Who are these beings and how do they work with him?
They are the beings that I saw earlier that are like me, but look different.
The blue.
Yes, and the violet one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the main one that works with me.
The violet one.
Yes.
What more can you say about this violet being?
They work with me by being in my presence and resonating my energy and my vibration to pull it up to theirs.
I'm gonna ask a very 3D question, and my question is if the blue and the purple being are individual beings, separate individual beings. That makes sense. They're part of
They
the
are.
same race, right?
They are part of the same consciousness, but they
Okay,
come from different places.
I see. Because he earlier mentioned Arcturus.
Yes, that's where my consciousness developed.
All right. And this connected with the blue being? Is that
Yes.
correct? And then how about the purple one?
Came from the Pleiadian star system. That's where it originated.
So Matthew has also Pleiadian genetics,
Yes.
so he has connections there as well and has lived lives.
Yes.
And how can then he connect with these beings? How can he communicate?
First set an intention to connect, and then wait until it feels right. Then he can go into meditation and connect with that energy.
And from then on, how can he like make the actual connection?
Trust whatever impressions come and whatever feelings arise.
That's the most important thing, right?
Yes. And it's important for Matthew especially to trust in himself.
Does he trust himself?
Not as much as he should.
So it's time for him to trust himself fully.
Yes.
So does he have any connection with the crowds?
Yes. They are attracted to his energy. It is a collective consciousness, and he can use them as a simple reminder to tune in to the moment whenever he sees them or hears them.
So what is their purpose in his reality? Present moment reminders. Is that what you mean? Or is there more?
There's more.
Can you tell him more?
The crows carry an energy of magic, and Matthew can use that energy by calling upon the crows
How can he use this energy?
In manifestation, mostly.
And how will the crows assist him?
It will speed up manifestation. It will make them easier, but he has to ask for the help.
He has to ask them for help?
Yes, he has to communicate to them.
So they, in a way, have been trying to communicate him?
Yes.
For all this time, that's why they are so present in his
yes, and they
awareness?
keep growing and growing in numbers. They will help him connect with his spirit animal, which is not from the 3D earth. It's not from this physical reality. It's a creature that works with him when he is ready, but it lives in the higher dimensions.
Can you tell us more about this creature? I'm very curious.
It's a bird-like creature, mythical creature, white, and it's huge actually. It's very big, and when he's ready, he can connect with it.
Does this white bird has electricity?
Yes.
In any way?
It is light and energy, and you could say it electricity. Yes.
Does it have any light in its physical appearance, like changing color, pulsating lights or anything like that?
It glows. It's a white light, and it glows white.
I'm asking because I've seen something similar in one of my own dreams, and it sounded very similar to what you are describing. From which dimension is this bird coming from?
7 and up.
And what is the relationship between this animal, spirit animal, and Matthew?
It is from the original life, from the Arcturian self. It's like his pet.
So genetically it has Arcturian DNA?
No, it comes from somewhere else.
I see.
But it is connected with the Arcturian self.
And you were saying that it was like a pet for him?
Yes. More like a friend though, not like a... not in the human way that you view a pet.
I understand exactly what you mean. And what are the attributes of this bird?
It has great power, and it can work with the elements. It doesn't really have feathers. It's just like energy, but it reminds me of a bird. And it's got claws like a bird or an eagle.
So Matthew knows this bird, right?
He has been made aware of it once before.
I mean, not in this lifetime, but in other timelines, incarnations, he has met this creature.
Yes.
They have connection.
Yes.
And can you remind us, please, how can he reconnect with it?
First, he needs to work more with the crows. And then he will start feeling and understanding that energy and dynamic of working with birds, and that will help him to reach out.
So the time will come.
Yes, the time will come.
Okay. So since February 2017 he started seeing light ships in the sky, and he's wondering how are these ships connected to him.
It is his future self and other beings. They are from the future, but they can project into this time.
And why is he allowed to see them? Why are they coming into his awareness?
They will assist him when the event happens. They will come to him and help him.
In what way?
So that he does not go into fear, to maintain his vibration, and they beam him energy every night and every day.
Why could the event create fear?
If Matthew is alone when it happens, it might worry him.
So how would one experience the event in the... Because we've heard so many different perspectives and views on how this would manifest?
I see a solar flash. A flash from the sun. It doesn't hurt anyone, but the energy is immense.
So yeah, this could create fear, right?
Yeah.
So the ships are moderating the
Yes.
vibration, so to say.
They can buffer the energy if it's too intense.
And can he communicate with the ships?
Yes.
How can he do that?
First set the intention. And
This is the invitation, right?
yes. And then wait for them. Wait for the thoughts to come when the time is right to connect. So set the intention, and then they will communicate via thoughts, and then he can go into meditation and connect on a deeper level.
Does it have to be when he will be seeing them physically in this night sky, or it can be in any time or any other time of the day?
It can be any time, but in the beginning it's more effective to do it at night, because then he can see them.
And I'm wondering if everybody is able to perceive them in the night sky, as Matthew is.
No, most people don't see them. Lots of people do, but these are people who are also connected to them in some way, and who are allowed to see them.
So they monitor who is able to see them and not.
Yes.
So they are able to manipulate our consciousness in a way. What is his preferred method of connecting and interacting with spirit?
Through the intuition. He mostly receives thoughts. It's through the mind, but coming from the heart. The mind interprets what he is receiving through the imagination and through feeling.
So how can he improve this ability of getting messages in that way?
The most important thing is to trust what comes up.
Yes, I cannot agree with you more. It's really the most important thing, right?
Yes. Because as soon as he doubts himself, it shuts down. So if he can trust what comes through, he will open up that channel even more.
Yeah. Open the floodgates.
Yes.
So what would you say to him now to motivate him and help him trust himself? Anything he needs to hear?
You are an extremely powerful, advanced being, capable of immense love, feeling it and sharing it. And you are worthy of all good things that are coming your way. There's nothing manipulating you anymore. Nothing is manipulating your thoughts. And therefore you can trust whatever comes through, whatever feels right.
So it's time for him to allow himself to shine.
Yes.
And not hide anymore.
Indeed.
Because that's why he's here.
He's here to share all that he is, all of himself. That is important.
And in so doing, motivating others to do the same. Beautiful. Are there any preferable creative expressions for him?
He must write. He must always write and practice this ability.
So he has talent for art.
Yes.
He told me he even channeled, I don't know if it was the blue being that he channeled or some other kind of...
It was the blue being.
Came through him through writing, right?
Yes.
Because that's maybe his talent, biggest talent.
That's his talent. That's how he can put the divine into form.
That flows through,
That's how it flows
naturally.
Yes.
For him to write. Is he aware of it?
A little bit, but again he doubts himself too much. He doesn't trust in his own ability. And so he gives up quickly.
So what do you suggest to him?
Practice every single day. Doesn't matter what comes out, just write. Do it first thing in the morning, before your daily practice. Just write whatever comes up.
Since this is the most, the best creative expression for him, I'm wondering, why is it writing, if there's any reason behind?
Because it works through language, and it's the first step in expressing himself through language and through speaking and through communicating the thoughts. It's how he can best communicate his thoughts and his impressions and what he receives from source.
Within the human body?
Within the human body.
So it's more direct?
Yes.
How can he best be of service during the transition that we are going through?
Practice presence. Always. To be present from when he wakes up until the evening. His mere presence is all that is needed from him, so that he can receive all of the energies coming from the sun and coming from the galaxy, so that he can receive as much of them as possible and hold them and then express them through the channel that is his body.
And also, is it also because, or is it like the same thing in different words, that when we are in the present moment we are more connected with our intuition?
Yes, that's also true.
So then he can fulfill his mission by
Yeah.
being who he is, showing.
By being present, he will solve almost all of his problems.
How can he most effectively assist the process of the ascension of the physical body?
Connect into the body. Communicate with the body and learn the language of the body. How the body communicates with his consciousness, because then he will be able to sort out any unbalanced aspects, any density that he still holds on to.
I would like to ask, when his body manifested a tumor in 2011, what was it trying to say to him then? What was the message?
It was slowly dying, because Matthew, both consciously and subconsciously or unconsciously, had a strong hatred towards his own body. And that hatred was killing it.
So it was anger against himself.
Yes. But specifically the body.
Why was it with the body more?
Because it didn't look the way that he wanted it to look.
And after it was removed, did this inner fight subsided within him?
No. It continued.
Is he still carrying this?
A little bit. But he is slowly releasing it.
Is there anything that you would like to say to him today?
Your body has been designed this way by yourself for specific reasons and purposes. Those parts of you that you do not like are actually the parts that make your body special.
There's nothing by accident, right?
Nothing by accident.
And it's all designed with lots of wisdom and lots of love, right?
It's all designed for the purposes of accelerated growth and expansion. Yes. We would like to say that the mind is a very beautiful friend and ally. And it is important to acknowledge this.
I agree with you. very much, because many people in the New Age community, so to say, are trying to kill the mind and
Yes.
therefore create more separation.
And more disharmony.
Yes. Yes. So we should embrace
And use the mind as a tool.
yes, but not become the slave of the mind.
Yes. So it's important to know where that boundary lies between using the mind and being used by the mind.
And it was very important for Matthew to do the Awakening the Illuminated Heart workshop, right?
Very important.
To shift the balance, because I guess he had more weight on his mind.
Yes.
And during this workshop he had the ability to get introduced by the intelligence of the heart.
Yes, it put him onto the pathway of the heart, and that is the most effective pathway for him.
So, what about his eyesight? Why did it downgrade so quickly within the last years? What is the message here?
To feel. He needs to trust his feeling, his intuition more, and rely less on the external impressions, like things that he sees or hears, and focus more on what he feels.
So I couldn't agree with you more. I had the same thought, same feeling when he told me about it. He almost even forgot to say it, but how important is it, right?
Yes.
So it amazes me because his higher self, manifested that for him to help him shift his awareness.
Yes.
From the physical to the non-physical.
Yes.
So, and it worked, right?
It worked, and now he just needs to trust what he's feeling.
Yes. It's amazing because, yeah, indeed, it's the last years that he somehow, even though he was not aware of it consciously and connected the dots, he started turning inward. Okay, so he's on a good way. He's on the right path.
He is on the right path.
How about his eyesight then now?
It will heal in time.
Okay, I was wondering if we can reverse this process, since he got the message and he's going on the right direction. Does he still need?
He still needs it. He still needs it.
Okay, so it's like a reminder for him.
Yes.
Okay.
He is still at risk of not going into the feeling. And if we heal the eyesight, it will distract him.
Yes. Okay. I trust you 100%. I know you always take the best decisions. What is the most appropriate. So you know what you're doing, and I think it's perfect the way it is. So eventually, at some point, he might not need it anymore.
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you, when he contacted me for a session, what did you hope that he would get from this session the most?
The understanding of his deepest limitations, of the sadness and the loneliness, the judgment, as that is all one interconnected block.
So do you believe that now, after having this experience, he has the right tools to move on?
Yes.
In his life?
He will still experience the last remnants of these issues, but they will disappear very soon.
Will listening to the recording often help him?
Yes.
Is there anything that Matthew didn't know about himself and you would like to say to him today?
Where he is now, everything that has happened and that is happening is absolutely perfect. Nothing is wrong. And most of all, he is safe. He is always safe. Wherever he is, wherever he goes, he will always be looked after.
I think he really needed to hear that.
Yes.
And also the fact that everything is unfolding according to the plan in his life.
And there's no need to try and accelerate anything.
Okay.
Just to stay in the flow of the present moment. Because in the present moment, everything has already happened.
So no need to put pressure on himself.
Yes.
Because there's nowhere to go, right?
There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to be. Everything that he needs is within himself.
To just make peace with himself and with the moment, with the present moment.
Yes. Especially when it feels hard. That's the time that he needs to stay in the moment. When the pain comes. He needs to feel it and experience it in order to let it go.
Because it doesn't help him to try to hide it, hide away from it, or to resist it, or judge it, or suppress it.
Because then it will just keep coming back.
Yes, okay. So he has to be brave enough to allow his feelings to rise up.
Yes.
And feel it.
Even sometimes it feels like he may be going crazy or losing himself. But he needs to know that he is always safe. And that he can just let go and surrender, especially in those moments.
And it feels like this sometimes when you're awakening, right?
Yes.
You feel like you're losing yourself. But you are, in a way, losing an old version of yourself.
Yes, the impure version.
Yeah. And this can be mind challenging.
Yeah. And scary.
Yes, I'm going through that as well sometimes.
Yeah.
Not as much as in the past, but I understand how challenging it can be for the identity that we have constructed for ourselves. Are you always connected to Matthew?
Yes, I'm always there.
So would it benefit him to know that you're always connected to him?
Yes.
So, sometimes we humans, we doubt this connection in our everyday life. So would it be helpful for Matthew to know, to really know and believe that he is connected to you?
Yes, he must know and understand that I am here, and he just needs to feel, and he will feel me.
Is it possible to give him a body sensation, a physical sensation? We humans love to have this of some type right now, just to let him know this.
Yes.
And can you allow him to describe this sensation out loud?
It's almost like a shock, a tingling of energy throughout the whole body at once.
Is there anything else that you wish that he would have asked today?
We would also like to say that he is of the Melchizedek consciousness. He resonates with this consciousness because it is a part of him. The archetype of the priest is very strong for him.
Could you tell him more about that?
This means he loves to learn, especially about things that are considered mystical in nature. He knows this.
Is there any way that he could strengthen his Melchizedek connection? Is there anything you would like to advise him?
Never stop searching or learning new things, but it is important to feel your way through whatever information or whatever experience you have, to feel through it. If it feels good, then go for it.
And one more thing, when you say that he is connected with Melchizedek consciousness, could you explain that to a human?
He has spent lifetimes within the Melchizedek consciousness, within different places in the universe where the Melchizedek consciousness resides. He has been a part of it many times.
So is that kind of like a soul signature that he has? Okay. So every experience that he has, is it perceived through this consciousness?
Yes.
So any incarnation that he has in different timelines, past, present, future, are all filtered through the
Indeed. Filtered through the Melchizedek consciousness. This reality included, it is filtered through the Melchizedek consciousness.
Okay, and I'm gonna just add 1-2 questions, and then we can close. Sometimes humans tend to have our conscious mind doubt the validity of this experience when it's over and some time passes. So if Matthew starts to doubt the information or the connection in this session in the future, or starts thinking, I made it up, or things like this, what would you say to him now to reassure him?
The session has been planned lifetimes ago. Longer than that. Everything that happened is in perfect synchronicity. And he knows this. And he can feel right now the difference between the higher self and the conscious awareness of the human. He can feel this very clearly, and there is absolutely no reason to doubt any of this.
You mentioned that this session was planned long time ago. Was it planned with specifically, personally with me?
Yes.
Okay, so there was like a contract, so to say, between us that we would do this. So in a way I was to work as a trigger for him.
Yes.
So in a way we are twin flames.
Indeed.
I get goosebumps. Wonderful. And I had one more question, but I forgot. Yeah, just wanted to say that now that he knows, he feels the place and the feeling of being connected with the higher self, it's also going to help him in the future going back to this state.
Yes, he just needs to remember the feeling. And that is it.
And listening to the recording will reinforce that, correct?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Is there any last message or anything you would like to say to him before we close?
You are so incredibly deeply loved, not only by the people that you know, but also in the non-physical world. There's so much love for you.